Look at that, what a great way to start the day. It's just after 5:30 a.m. here in Tokyo. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? Tokyo Tower, for some reason, is only half lit up. So this morning we are exploring Tokyo just a little bit more before the crowds get out here. How is everybody doing today? Right now we are at an area called Zojoji, and we're gonna start by exploring this area here. Good morning to everybody. Let me turn this around and say good morning for a second. There we go. We have a cherry blossom tree right there in the background. It is always so bright. It is always so super overexposed, but this temple is gorgeous in the morning. I'm just gonna turn this around and we'll start exploring. I'm using a slightly different gimbal today because the battery died so quickly last time. There we go, that's exposed a little more nicely. And good morning to everybody from Tokyo. It is a beautiful day, and lately one of the only times that I really truly get out and enjoy the day is first thing in the morning. So as per last time, we're going to do a little bit of exploring around this area. We're not going to be talking about recent events and all that because I think we could all use a break from it. It would be awesome to see that like button hit the number of viewers that we have, so feel free to go crazy on that. We're gonna start out on that side. I'll show you some of the back streets around here. Maybe at some point we'll get a coffee. It sees how much time we have, and then we're gonna come back through, explore the beauty of Zojoji Temple. Look at this. Look at that. We're gonna come back here, we're gonna explore here, we're gonna go up to the area of Tokyo Tower and all around it. We're gonna do some exploration, and we're just gonna make today a beautiful day. I see that it is somebody's birthday, so Mara, good morning and happy birthday to you. So we are gonna head out this way, and we're gonna take a look at what everything looks like from the other side of this big, beautiful gate. So everybody watching, where are you watching from? Chime in, don't be shy in the comments. I don't catch them all, but we always have a good time. Here we are. Ooh. All right, guys, so let's take a peek at the sign so we can get an idea and a feel for where we are. It is gonna take me a little while to get used to this gimbal, but we'll get there. And Tim, thank you so much for the coffee money. That's actually a really good way to start the day. My favorite convenience store is Family Mart, and there's one right over there. So as soon as all this wraps up, coffee is on the agenda on Tim. Thank you kindly. So we got Tokyo Tower about 400 meters that way. Onaribon Station is also down that way. Shibuya-ku Station is down that way. And then Daimon Station is over that way. All of them are actually kind of far. If you've ever been out to Tokyo Tower, you'll know that there's no quick and easy access to the tower from the stations. You always have to walk a bit, but that's part of it. It gives you that adventure feeling. And that's what we're doing today. We're walking out to the tower. It is a beautiful city to be in at dawn. It really is. Got people watching from Poland and Syracuse, Washington, all over the place. Canada, Ottawa, Florida. Oh, take us to Family Mart. You know, normally I would love to take us in to explore the wonders of Family Mart first thing in the morning, but I want to avoid getting the staff face, and especially if you work first thing in the morning, the last thing you want is someone coming in there with a camera. You think you're kind of free from all of that. So I'm going to be nice to the staff and keep the pressure off of them. But wow, let me turn this around. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So again, if you're just joining in now, this is Zojoji Temple. And I feel like I missed another super chat. No, okay. This is Zoljoji Temple right here. And a lot of movies and everything like that are filmed in this area. Has beautiful, beautiful weeping cherry blossom trees here. Let's go over and take a peek at these. The cherry blossoms are just starting to come out. The birds are chiming in the background. It is really good. And for everybody asking, I'm doing really well. Stunning view. Screenshot that for a wallpaper. There you go. Yes, absolutely. Yes, Wolverine was filmed here. Bob, you are spot on. Yes. One of the fight scenes from Wolverine was filmed right here. There's another beautiful tree right over here. And then I'm going to show you a bunch of kobito as we make our way over to the tower. There we go. And this lens really makes these trees just what they are. Can't wait till these come out in full bloom. Oh, you better bet that I will be coming out here. And you know what? Keech, I'm going to add you as a moderator. So welcome to the moderator squad. Give Tim a break every now and then. The rules for this are always the same. Be kind. Just be wonderful, be yourselves. And again, there's only one topic that we're not covering today, and it's the topic that we all kind of need a break from. So it's also the reason that I'm out at 5 o'clock in the morning rather than out at normal time like a normal human being. So there we are. And Tom Wellinger was supposed to arrive in Tokyo in about an hour. Instead, I'm watching this from my couch in Luxembourg because we had to cancel. And I like the last line of this. It says, at least everyone is healthy. I like that mindset. It's the only thing we can really do right now, honestly, is just be glad that those of us that are healthy and just enjoy what we can, just make the best of it. And that's kind of what we're doing here. Since I go out in the mornings to get my exercise and get my fresh air and all that anyway, I figure it's a great time to bring you guys along. Next week is gonna be a week of videos, by the way. I've got some videos planned. We're gonna go back to that series, I think. I had a patron request that I jump back into the series of me visiting my first trip to Japan, which was 15 years ago. I still have all those tapes, so I think we're gonna get back into that. Let me show you this area. Ah! Was not expecting to pull it up to my face and accidentally turn it back around on me. All right, so one of the small things about this area here that I really like are these little kobito. And there's a whole bunch of them over down this way that we're gonna go check out. But I'll start off by showing you these ones. They've got little hats and everything. Good morning, guys. Good morning, guys. Yeah. The area I am in right now, for those of you just joining, is the Onarimon or Daimon area right near the base of Tokyo Tower. This right here is Zoljoji Temple and TAK 178. I'm glad to see you're out and about. I'm hopeful I'll still be able to make it to Tokyo in October. Be well, brother. Thank you very much. Let's hope that by October, life feels just a little more normal than it does. But for now, I'm gonna do everything I can in our little stream today just to make life feel like a totally normal thing. And I can't get enough of this view. We actually started the live stream, for those of you who are just joining now, with this view. Let me back this up. I didn't almost fall. And by didn't almost fall, I mean I totally almost fell. Look at that. Oh, just beautiful. Family Mart chicken for the win. Elaine, thank you very much. It's all about that Family Mart chicken. You got me Family Mart chicken last time too, and I really enjoyed it. So we're gonna go up this way. We're gonna check out the kobito over here. And then we're gonna make our way to Tokyo Tower and explore some of the back streets around that area. So My gimbal's still a little wobbly. I've got these counterweights that I use for the giant lens on it, and I'm just trying to get all that sorted out and get the right weight balance on it, and yada, 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 all that boring technical stuff. Hopefully that's better. I have no idea. It's definitely not. So whenever I come out here, I love to walk through this area here and spend some time with these guys. The temperature right now is insanely warm, actually. It is currently 5:45 in the morning, partly cloudy with 16 degrees Celsius. If anybody has any quick math going on, if you could translate 16 degrees Celsius over to Fahrenheit for those who live in the Fahrenheit world, that would be just wonderful. I love walking through. I love getting this shot right here. It's obviously so much better when you can actually see the color of the sky. There we go. There we go. That's a view that I love right there. This is actually a really good spot that people don't realize to get a super low down angle for photos, kind of unique photos when you come to Japan. If you get the camera right down there like that. Now I'm not going to be able to see myself because I'm going to go to the other side of the lens for a second. But if you get the camera right down there like that, you can get people like posing and like cool, like Instagram-ish, like, you know, get that whole thing going on. I am not eloquent this morning at all, but we're having a good time. So back over to the side of the camera. But where we are gonna go now is over to Tokyo Tower. And oh, I slipped again. I really need to get shoes with better grip. Jim, this live stream is perfect since we are all basically stuck at home. Yeah, that's kind of the plan. And honestly, other than mornings like this, I have just been staying at home myself. There is a single project that I have been putting a great deal of time into, and I just finished up the first draft yesterday. So really, really excited to have that hopefully coming out by the end of this month, beginning of next month. Okay. Gary Gergich. Yeah, Gary Gergich is a different character. And doesn't his name change like 8 times? From Gary to Jerry to Larry back to Gary. I love that show. I love that show. I got in the habit for a little while of putting on something in the background while I was editing, and that became one of the shows, along with things like the Office and everything like that. Speaking of Office, I'm thinking of doing, considering we're all stuck at home, a bit of a tour of the office studio space that I work in. What do you guys think? Let me know in this like chat comments thing if that's something that you'd be into watching. Even if not, I'm probably gonna do it just because I like it and I want that on there, so yay. But I would love to know your guys' thoughts on it. If there's anything specific that you'd like to see in the office or know about it, you know, obviously it's my personal space, it's where I work, but I think sharing our little workspaces, especially at a time like this, is just kind of an interesting way to connect. I put out a podcast episode, I believe yesterday, and in this podcast episode I talked about how there's a small hidden gem of beauty within all of this, and that it's for the first time in most of our lives, everyone's talking about the same topic. Ironically, the topic that we're not talking about in this live stream here. But because of that, we have an opportunity just as a group of humans interculturally around the world to develop a language and an understanding. Okay, so it takes me back to the March 11th earthquake of 2011. When that earthquake hit, it actually became kind of like a talking point after that, because so many people had memories of the exact same moment. Everybody could talk about where they were when that earthquake hit, what their experience was, and to this day, that's a topic that comes up in conversation quite often. When the earthquake hit, where were you? What were you doing? And it adds a certain layer of understanding and communication. And yeah, exactly, something like 9/11 was like that. But the thing is, a lot of these are thankfully very isolated. It's like 9/11 was in New York, 3/11 was here in Japan. And in terms of like something global, this is one of the first times that everybody has been on the same page to talk about something. We've developed new language. People have, obviously people break into groups, people on side A, people on side B, but we get to get a much more clear peek at how we communicate and react in these situations as humanity, and develop new systems and new ways of interacting. And just I love the thrust for positivity that's around it right now. So I'm going to turn this back around, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But there is positivity to be found within it, and I think that that is a huge part of it. And all of the parks that I love that surround the tower right now are all closed off, like literally all of them. So, and good morning from New Zealand. Good. There we are. Just reading through comments as we walk here. We're gonna go down. I'm gonna show you guys my favorite stairwell and how to get to it, and then we're gonna make our way into the back street areas around Tokyo Tower and see what different angles we can find. So, and the name of my podcast is the Tokyo Lens Podcast. Just kind of like it is everywhere. Tokyo Lens on everything. YouTube, Instagram. I think I did Twitch for a while. I might go back to that. I don't know. I really enjoy the YouTube live streams. What else? Instagram, Twitter, did the Patreon, got the podcast, got it all. So, all right. So right around this corner here, we're gonna start by going up to the park here, because this park is, so basically once we get into this zone here, this is my jogging area, if you will. The podcast is how I found your channel. That is amazing. I kind of treat each platform in its own way. For me, Instagram is really about sharing moments. Twitter is really about sharing photos and comments and stuff like that, which I know after saying Instagram is moments, saying Twitter is photo is a weird thing, but you get the point. And YouTube is about capturing stories, all of that. The Patreon is really about hanging out as a community and getting to know each other on a slightly more like one-to-one basis. And the podcast is about rambling and storytelling and all of that. So each platform is very unique in its own way in terms of the content that you get. There is some overlap. Like I'll take video topics that I had to condense down, and I'll go over them in much more detail in the podcast from time to time and stuff like that. So Lisa, thanks so much. Really appreciate you being in here. And yeah, the Instagram is Tokyo_1, but if you just search Tokyo space lens, I think it still comes up. So there we go. Do you have a favorite of those mediums? It kind of changes depending on the day. There are some days where I love podcasting more than anything. There are some days where obviously making videos is just like the best part of my life on that day. It's just like, I can't believe I get to capture this moment. And then, let's see if we can't, can we get it so it's not overexposed even for 5 seconds? Twitter, I love sharing photos and interact. It's really hard to choose a favorite. I'd say honestly, if I had to choose a single favorite, it would be the more community-based ones. The ones where like I get to interact with you. That's why I love the live streams so much, because we actually get to hang out. And like I do live streams like this, I don't know, Patreon peeps, how many have we done this week? Like 3, 4 live streams just this week. I love these because we get to spend a lot of time hanging out. Oh, there's a gym over here, like a weird outdoor gym thing that I'm definitely gonna fall off of, but we're gonna go check it out because I love it. And then the Oh, look at that. Look at that beautiful sunrise right there. If you're gonna screen cap anything for a desktop background, there it is. There is a staircase over there that leads up to the tower. We're gonna go check that out in a little bit. It says, okay, there's a fun question there. It says, hey Norm, what's your favorite cookie? Oh boy, haters gonna come out to play. I don't like cookies. I don't do dry sweets. If it's dry and it's sweet, like cookies, cakes, muffins, I love sweets, don't get me wrong. Sour Patch Kids, you know, what are those, the thumbs or with the toes or whatever the hell they are, the Swedish fish. Oh, love them, love that, love them, love them. Dry sweets, cakes, cookies, all that, sorry. Mind you, I do like those ones that have the little it's like a cream cookie and it's got the little red gel thing in the middle. I usually just go for the gel though, but yeah. And PVO Pomp, good morning and good night, Norm. Well, thank you very much. Really appreciate that. As soon as this is done, I'm gonna be getting myself a nice, healthy breakfast. It feels weird to be in this area right now without running because this is my typical running spot right around here. I start down around the street over there. I tend to come up. I love running through that gate. I run around this park here. This thing here is actually pretty. There we go. We're just gonna try not to fall off. I'm gonna try not to die. That's the goal for today. That is really noisier than it needs to be. There was a question there that says, hey Norm, do you have any tattoos? I just have one. Let me see if I have one, and for the most part, I keep it under my watch. Mind you, it also stops the sensor from the watch on reading, so I tend to wear the watch just a touch more forward. So, and I've had problems with it more in the past than in like recent present. I think with the Olympics coming up, Japan is getting a lot more reasonable about that stuff, not in all places. And so I've had less problems recently, but still problems. How long did it take you until you know how to photograph perfectly? You never do. You absolutely positively never do. Some things in life you just gotta learn to enjoy the journey rather than the result, and photography is really one of those things. You're never, ever, 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 ever gonna love your results, but somebody else will, and that's kind of the point. I don't know about you, but I can't eat my own cooking. I love to cook. I absolutely love cooking, but I don't enjoy eating my own food. That's why I love having guests and feeding other people and everything like that. So photography is kind of like that. If you learn to enjoy the cooking, learn to enjoy the process of doing, just holding a camera, taking the photos, that is so much better than loving the photos that you've produced. I love to love other people's photos that they've produced. I have a certain amount of love for my own, but not at the level that I do for the work that some of my friends create, like my buddy Lucas. So this stairwell right here is all the rage. Now, funny story. I came out to this stairwell right here about a week ago at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 a.m. and shot a music video with Kiki, the shamisen girls. Oh, come on, give us a better light balance than that. There we go. That's the shot right there. Obviously, ours was a night shot, so lit for night. So on my other YouTube channel, Shamisen in Tokyo, we're gonna be doing we're gonna be releasing a video as soon as I get the color grade and the audio and everything nailed just right. Do you have a favorite spot that you run through while jogging? In this area, it's that park that was up there. In my old area, I loved running along the Sumida River. It was just spectacular. Alpha Mike, good morning, man. How you doing? And do they think of piercings the same way as tattoos in Japan? Not at all. I actually say, if anything, and this is just personal view on it, but I feel the piercing culture is a lot more lax here than it is there. I've seen Japanese people who have like 5-6 piercings in their ears and still somehow manage to make it look classy. Like you can know them for years and then be like one day like, did you always have 5 piercings in that ear? Yeah, always. So now we're coming up to the base of Tokyo Tower right here. This hill that we're on right now is actually the bane of my existence when I do my runs. I always try to really push it up this hill, and which is kind of. And Timothy says, can you visit Zoljoji after dark? Yes, you can. The only thing about visiting temples and shrines after dark is to understand that typically people actually live in the temples and shrines. So try to be respectful in terms of volume. They tend to wake up super early in the morning. So I'm a little more comfortable streaming in the morning, but you can visit after dark. Oh, there we go. That base of Tokyo Tower view. Actually really grateful for this lens. Look at that. Look at that. The sunset off there. Just tilt that a little bit right there. Boom. Ah, absolutely love it. Is the baseball still at the top of Tokyo Tower? I do not know. I really don't. Oh, let's back up for just 2 seconds here. Look at that sunrise. Look at that sunrise off in the distance. Obviously, it's not quite as nice as our last live stream. Our last live stream, we caught the sunrise at Ueno Park, and that was just spectacularly gorgeous. This one's nice. This one's nice. It doesn't hold a flame to that one. And where is it? There it is. Iman Spearman says, I'm in awe of people who run. Between you and me, so am I. I don't do it often. Really don't do it often. Usually when I'm cutting calories more than anything else, and at the most it's like once a week, and then I'm like, and by once a week I mean like once a month. like, you know, I'm gonna go jogging like once a week for this month, and then I do it once and I'm like, I did it. I prefer like exercise at home. So, and let's turn that back around. Look at that. Tokyo Tower getting newspaper deliveries. Huh, who knew? Look at this space here. I guess this is one of those things that you wouldn't know unless you came out and saw it with your own eyes. Yeah, it's a really nice garden wall, but I'm like weirdly in awe that Tokyo Tower gets newspaper deliveries. Like who is receiving that newspaper? I have so many questions about why a tower requires newspaper delivery. Like it's like the guy took a single newspaper in there too. It's not like he took a stack of them to be sold. That would probably be delivered by a truck. No, newspaper guy took in one newspaper who needs that newspaper? I'm so curious as to who's like, you know what, I'm gonna have my morning newspaper just delivered to me at Tokyo Tower every day. Someone is doing that. That is not a corporate thing. Someone is definitely having their newspaper delivered to them at Tokyo Tower. There we go. Tokyo Tower Alley. I mentioned this in our last live stream as we went through the Ueno area, but honestly, if you really want to enjoy Tokyo, if you really want to get out and get all those photos and everything, Tokyo before sunrise is the time for you. It is the time to be out and about and exploring. It is the time when you are going to find all the spaces wide open with little to no people. And that right there, that's the jam. Little to no people. I've got a couple people over there. Tiny little, good morning, tiny people. But that is just so beautiful. There we go. So we're gonna head this way. We're gonna explore some of the streets around this area. It is from this point in the live stream, or if you want to be like, hey, turn left, turn right, check that out. I might miss a bunch of the comments because I am semi-focused on walking, as you should be when you walk, but we can explore together and have a good time of it. Whew. Look at that. Look at that sunrise behind Tokyo Tower. And Miss Bloody says, I want to learn the shamisen too. And a friend of mine, the koto, it's probably a forever wish. Love those instruments. They're really stunning. Oh. Yeah, I guess until you take action, anything's a forever wish, right? I love the sound of the shamisen, I always did, and it's kind of what pushed me always. I actually found out about the shamisen after living in Japan once. Lived here an entire year, didn't even know about it. It's a nice little photography spot here. You can get all set up. You get yourself a nice photo with Tokyo. You know what? That's, look at that. Oh boy. It's not super slippery either, that's good. I'm not gonna die. There we are, it is, I might even need to take off the jacket. That's a nice view. I feel like I should be over here because the sunset's over there. Love it. Hi, Carl. Looking at me like I'm some crazy person just hanging out here by myself. I am. I clearly am. Streamers and all that. Oh, just beautiful. But yeah, getting back to what I was saying about the shamisen, there are ways to start, and I just really love this view. We're just gonna enjoy this again for just a moment. There are ways to start. There are ways to enjoy it. But some things, I don't know. I feel like it was a lot different from what I expected. If I am having like a wildly honest moment with shamisen, it was a lot different from what I expected it to be. There was a much larger learning curve. There was a lot more work involved. Obviously, and it requires way more care than I possibly ever could have imagined. You need to take care of it constantly and play it weekly, if not daily. So exploring the back streets around here we are. Is the wire still on the tower? Which wire? Is there a zip line? Oh my God. Yeah, there was too. I don't know. I have no idea. I think they took it down. It might have been for cleaning or something. There was like a wire that you would have sworn was a zip line. Did you win any tickets for the Olympics? I will tell you this much. When and if the Olympics hit Tokyo, I will be as far from here as possible. Even if it just means, again, spending a little time at home, I will not be in that mess. Nope. No need for me to be all up in that. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be really crazy here. And I figure that'll be a perfect time to be anywhere but Tokyo. do a little exploring, go on adventures that I've never had the chance to go on. Maybe go running, you know, all that good stuff. All right, so coming down this way, let me show you where we're at now. So we're gonna do a loop around the tower so I can show you guys what the area is like. There's a church here, St. Albans Church. Look at that. Seems like there's another one right there. I don't know if those are the same thing. There's a sign there that says cultural experience. So, no way. Huh. Freemasons. Do you see shamisen more as a hobby or something you would like to fully pursue? It's actually something that I am fully pursuing. I do a couple shamisen performances a month. A lot of them are corporate gigs. Actually, almost all of them are corporate gigs. I have a couple regular ones that I do, and then I was on TV a couple of years back, and I had already been doing performances up until that point, but that just kind of launched the entire shamisen thing into an actual career, as well as all the work I do around recording the shamisen and working with the Yoshida brothers. I'd say, even though it doesn't all make it onto camera, at least 40, if not more % of all the work I do here in Japan is shamisen related, whether it be playing, you know, recording, something like that. So yeah, I once told one of the Yoshida brothers that I wanted to do shamisen as at least a semi full-time thing. And he just kind of smiled and he was like, okay, good luck, good luck. And honestly, turning something like shamisen, why won't you white balance? Turning something like shamisen into a full-time job or something that you can make money off of is a challenge. And it's not easy. Everyone kind of has to do it in their own way. So yeah, hopefully that answers that. So this is the street we are walking down now. Some really nice clouds this morning. Like, it's a weird thing to be excited about clouds, but those are nice clouds. So what is the rest of the work that you do in Japan? It's actually a pretty good question. To get a peek at what like an average week for me looks like in Japan, I did a video called like 1 week of my life in Japan, and I pretty much show everything in there except for the shamisen stuff, because that was a non-shamisen week for me. A lot of it is based around production, video stuff, creating, lots of editing, whether it be through my work or the odd thing that I do for clients. There's 1 or 2 major projects I am working on in the background with musicians and all of that. But that 1 week of my life in Japan video, if you are ever curious about what I like do during my days and how I spend my time, check that one out. And I love this. Do you play any other instruments? When I was young, I did. I started off with violin when I was a small child. My grandfather was a guitarist, and so I played guitar all throughout high school and everything. And honestly, I was super surprised that shamisen is unlike anything that I've played before. If anything, it's a heck of a lot more like golf than it is like an instrument. Just in terms of, it kind of comes down to, again, what we talked about with photography, of you really need to enjoy the process, because it's really hard to enjoy the results of your own playing with shamisen. You have to really enjoy the actual process of playing the instrument. So, are there any secret hidden shrines around Tokyo Tower? There is an abundance of them. That is like the thing that I love so much about like this area, just Tokyo in general. So I spent some time out in Osaka maybe a month or so ago, And it was great, but there weren't all the hidden shrines in the density that there is here in Tokyo. Let me turn this around. We got a little sakura tree here. Look at that. But pretty much left and right, like if there wasn't the barrier there and we were able to cross the road where that dump truck is going, there's like a temple and shrine back there. There is this area here, there's Zojoji, there's a ton of little ones all scattered throughout the area. So look at that. Oh, love it. How much famous in Japan are kiki? Kiki are actually pretty big, I'd say, in terms of like shamisen players. Most of the shamisen players here in Japan look up to them and are like, wow, we wanna be like that. Like if you were to talk to a shamisen player, there wouldn't be one that doesn't know who they are. You go to any shop or restaurant, they know who kiki are. They have CDs in all the CD stores and everything like that. They're on the TV, they're on the radio. They're pretty well known, I guess. It's hard to say, really. And I know it's redundant at this time, but if I had to recommend shamisen artists that I truly enjoy, it would honestly probably be Yoshi Brothers and Kiki. I have a whole bunch of other shamisen artists that are like, oh, can we do stuff with you? Can we be on shamisen in Tokyo? Everything like that, because they've seen how much work I've been able to do with Kiki over the years. But there's a certain feel that I get from the music of the Yoshi Brothers or Kiki, or maybe one or two other solo players that I've traveled with, that I just don't get from other players. There's a certain amazing, and if you have no idea who Kiki is, Kiki's two young female players. Go take a peek at Shamisen in Tokyo, my other YouTube channel. I've got a ton of videos of them up on there. And they just have so much love for what they do, and it bleeds into their playing. So, here we go. Just these morning sunrise vibes in the area. Love it so much. We're gonna come over this way, make our way down to the other side of the street. Nathan, thanks so much. Glad that you enjoy it. I don't upload on Shamisen in Tokyo as much, but we do have one heck of a video coming that was filmed in this area pretty soon. Look at that. Look at this. What time are we looking at, guys? It is currently 6:22 in the morning. It is 15 degrees. I feel like, okay, so how in the world did you get up there, mate? You know, we're gonna do a little exploring in a second, but before we do, thank you, Bob. Before we do, I desperately need to take off this jacket. It is far too warm for all of this right now. It is actually gone down in temperature just a touch, but all the walking does it, you know. Love that Tokyo Tower in the background. I explored, there's rent-a-bikes here. They used to be really good. Now if you come to Tokyo, I'm gonna show you these. I do not recommend you 16 degrees in a t-shirt while doing a lot of walking. The walking part is kind of key to that. I've been going up and down hills and everything. There we go. Just stuffing this into the backpack. There. Beautiful. So, let me show you these bikes. All right, so These are these little rental bikes here. Now, I don't recommend them because they're different depending on the area. So you get these ones here, so you get like 150 yen for 30 minutes. Weirdly enough, not all of them have that system. A lot of them is just like 1,500 yen for the day. And there are a lot of places that you can rent bicycles for much, much cheaper. You can rent bicycles for like 300, 500 yen for the entire day. In fact, if you ever go out to Kyoto, I do not recommend using public transportation in any way. No, 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 no. Unless you're going out to Arashiyama, then use it. But in Kyoto, I highly recommend getting rental cycles. So, yeah, yes, that's an important thing too. I'm talking 16 degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit. Something tells me 16 degrees Fahrenheit is probably not t-shirt weather. So, there we go. I see a set of stairs over here that I really want to get to, and I don't think I'm going to be able to. I'm so curious because there's a space up here that I was very confident that was closed off. But oh, it is closed off. That sneaky little bugger climbed over. He's a rebel. Old dude here climbed over these pylons to get up to this space. I was like, I thought it was closed off. It is. There's a park right behind here that I absolutely positively love. But every aspect of it right now, every entrance point to it is completely closed off. And that includes this. And this spot right here, when it's not closed off, is, ooh, my face, is a spectacular spot to see the sunrise. It's a spectacular spot to see the tower. And then right down here around the corner is one of my favorite, what's it called? Parks. Park is the word I'm looking for. And what is up with the ground? Just a fancy pathway. It's kind of wonky, isn't it? I think that they're it's broken down into, like, you know, the normal driving lane, the taxi lane, and the varying sized walking lane, if you will. So to everybody joining now, we are exploring the area around Tokyo Tower this morning. At the start of the stream, we went out to Zojoji Temple. We watched the sunrise around the tower. And yes, I am rocking the wide angle lens from Moment. 8 inches of snow, first day of spring. Oh, hate shoveling. Yeah, that I can relate to. Hate shoveling all the way. Ugh. So this area right here, it just breaks my heart. Again, they're almost finished with the work that's being done on it, but I'm gonna be nice and not break the barrier here. There's a whole park over here that's just spectacular. I love hanging out and like playing down in that area in the summer. And yeah, just, it is just wonderful out here. Just spectacular. And for those asking, it is 6:27 in the morning right now. So yes, there's a little stream and stones and it's super awesome. So, and this is a park that is right beside Tokyo Tower. For the life of me, I can't remember the name of it. Woo. This gimbal and me are not getting along today. We're trying. We're really trying, but we're not doing well. Got the sunset behind, which is totally blinding. Like, now you see me, now you don't. Now you see me, now, okay, we're gonna stop playing around. Walk down this way. So this is actually where we started from. And again, this park right here is actually really nice too. We're gonna jaywalk for a second. We're gonna go straight to prison for all the jaywalking. Stickers, hey stickers. It's such a crowded street, as you can see. Apparently, the parking is full at 6:30 in the morning. And again, talking about like hidden temples and shrines, clearly not hidden, but there's another one right there. There we go. There's a koban right here. Kobaya's like a police box. For those that don't know, if you're in Tokyo and you lose something, go to the police box. That's where you go if you lose something. And it's still zoomed in, isn't it? There we go. Oh, welcome back. And thank you, Tim. Yes, it would be nice to see the number of likes hit the number of viewers by the time we wrap everything up eventually. But oh, look at that. I am doing very well. How are you? Is it less crowded than usual? Not really. It's for a documentary, and it was way more crowded than usual. All the schools and whatnot are out, so it's just priorities and all that. Again, we're not going to get too far into all of that, but it's definitely not. If you want the less crowded side of Tokyo, definitely 5 a.m., 6 a.m. is your friend. So, how's the pollen situation this year? So far, so good, I guess. I don't really get spring pollen stuff going on. I get hit in the fall every now and then, so. Just love these parks first thing in the morning. Every time I take manual control and just like hold the camera like this, it shuts off my gimbal. How often are you up at this time? Lately, fairly often, because it's I want to get out, I want to get some fresh air, I want to enjoy the day, but so 5 a.m., 4 a.m. is a pretty good time to do that. So I woke up this morning at about 3:45, drank water, did exercise, and grabbed my backpack that I packed last night with gear, and came out for us to do this stream. So turn that around so I can read some of these comments as we walk. So what's up that staircase? Well, we're climbing up here and trying to find out now. There's a nice little space over here, and I'm just trying to make sure I don't completely fall down. And good day. So is it normally this lonely? Nope. It is usually this area. Like if you find the quiet back street parks and stuff like that, it tends to be a lot more quiet than the main streets. But again, keeping in mind it is super early in the morning. So Ellie, when did you go to sleep? I think I made my way to sleep maybe 10 p.m. last night. It really depends on the day. So makes me want to go for a hike. And I just want to say huge thanks to Tim here for all the wonderful moderation that you're doing. I appreciate it. There we go. I'm gonna head this way, make our way back to the tower. All right, I need breakfast suggestions, guys. So while we're at this morning walk, breakfast suggestions. What would you say that I get for breakfast today? Thoughts, ideas, anything at all. I would love to know. Melon bread and fruit, crepes, gyudon. Gyudon's actually not a bad breakfast. 7-Eleven, Family Mart is better. Just trying not to make sure I don't get hit by cars here. Turn the yakisoba pan, bento. There are so many good food options here. Traditional Japanese, of course. TKG. For those who don't know what TKG is a bowl of rice with an egg cracked over it, a raw egg to be exact. And it's called TKG because rice is gohan, and putting egg on the gohan is called tamago kake gohan, TKG. So eat what you see somebody else is eating. So, okonomiyaki. Wow. Yeah, the first time I ever heard someone say TKG, I was like, what's TKG? And they had a good laugh, and they're like, it's tamago kake gohan. I had no idea. So I get to share that with you guys now. Let's see if we can't find a nice and maybe slightly dry spot to put this down. Oh. I'm messing with the brightness balance. So, what is your favorite Japanese food? Weirdly enough, it's the simple stuff. I really like things like karage. I really like things like gyudon, like beef bowls and whatnot. Brian, McDonald's breakfast. Thank you so much. I don't actually think there's a McDonald's in this area, but since you went out of your way to actually send me those 5 pounds, I think after this I'm gonna hop on a bicycle and go find a McDonald's and see if I can find the most Japanese thing at that McDonald's to have for breakfast. So how are you guys feeling about these live streams? I'm trying to decide if we're gonna do this as like a once a week kind of deal, or if we're gonna do this as maybe a once or twice a month kind of deal. I like the idea of just getting out and enjoying the atmosphere, just getting a bit of positivity, escaping from all the craziness in the world, and just enjoying a nice, peaceful morning walk together. Like, I'm really, really enjoying this. Yeah. See, I'm glad that you guys enjoy the live streams that much. It's why I do so many. Tim, how many have I done this week? I think in total, between here and there, this is like gotta be 5-6 live streams at least. Do you ever get used to talking to the camera with bystanders looking at you? I've always wanted to see the expressions of bystanders. You sometimes learn to ignore it, and then other times bystanders will walk by and they'll like this, and then you gotta redo the shot at that point. And I just sat in water, so now I got a wet butt. A good few. That's a scientific numbers. When you're doing a live stream, though, I think, I don't know, I feel like I'm talking to you. Like, I feel like I'm talking to you personally right now, so it doesn't feel weird when someone's like looking at me, or like, this is cyclists, like, just smile and wave, it's all well and good. So thumbs up from the jogger earlier, there we go, right? So, that is such a nice sunset. Let me show you guys this for a second. You, sir, are noisy. Look at that. All right, let me see if we can't put that back down. We're doing a nice little hangout here. Oh, look at that. Yeah, a few people being like, where is Sherry? Well, Sherry's obviously back in Matsuyama. She was doing a project for a while, I think, if I understand correctly, where she had this whole set of videos that she was going out and doing. And after all of that was finished, she had to actually like catch up with other work. So I think she's just been a bit on, I haven't talked to her in a while either. So I'd like to get another podcast going with Sherry. Like, get some kind of something where I can really pull from her experiences and value and share that with you guys. So, Nosh, you guys have no excited how I am. Like, thanks for the notification, YouTube. Nosh said sarcastic. I know, right? We're over an hour into this live stream here. How you doing, Nosh? So, if you've ever seen the video where my little brother Alexander came to Japan and we did the entire day backwards, I actually ran into Nosh in that exact video. So, and imananji desu ka? It is 6:39 in the morning right now. Bike rental places, please. Just go into Google Maps and type bike rental in English and they'll boop, 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 boop. If you pay more than 600 to 700 yen for a bike rental, you have paid too much. So yeah, that was one of my favorite videos where we did the entire day kind of forwards but backwards. It was like a fun little, yeah, I like that. Shibuya-ku. That is no, it is Tokyo Tower. Thank you kindly very much, Tim, for that. So, let's do just a little more walking through here. We'll use this time to do a bit of a Q&A. I'm gonna turn this around, so if you guys have any questions, this is the time to do them. We're gonna go on with a full-on Q&A at this point as we walk through the city. Nosh says, getting on a bike in Tokyo is an invitation to be asked to get off the bike to have your papers verified. These are facts. This is a true thing that's actually, it's real. Can you speak some Japanese for us? What do you want me to say? Want me to talk about Tokyo Tower? The sunset? Eyes? Oh, wow. No, I can't speak Japanese for you because I can barely speak English properly for you. Wow. I didn't know there was like 23 Shiba parks, but it makes sense. It makes sense. It actually kind of does. So in retrospect. Parler de français? Oui, j'ai pas peu de le français. I love this space. I just really do. Okay, is it really easier to stay healthy and fit in Japan than in Western countries? Honestly, I don't think it makes a difference at all. You do walk quite a bit more and you do have more healthy food options available, but in the end, the amount of calories you take in is entirely up to you, and the amount of exercise that you choose to do is entirely up to you. So it really comes down to your habits and routines above all else. And is anybody else having issues with me cutting out? Let me know. Are there any cherry blossom trees near Tokyo Tower? Yes, we actually started this live stream with cherry blossom trees. Do you have shamisen concerts planned for the next year? Okay, Alpha Mike. It is March now. I had 7 shamisen concerts planned for the rest of the year, which was pretty much going to cover my year. Every single one has canceled, because that's the world that we live in right now. C'est la vie. Some will rebook, some won't. When I know, I do shamisen concert updates on my website, so if you're ever interested, there's a place there where you can like register for updates and all that, so there we go. Had a bit of lag, but it's all good. All right. We're gonna walk down this way, make our way down to the street. When is the next collab with Charla? Well, you see, Charla lives so far away now. She lives up in Morioka, so we don't have as much time to hang out as we used to. But we stay in touch all the time. The next collab will happen as soon as possible. We're talking about a road trip. Just doesn't feel like the right time. Can you do an exercise home video? That is the kind of thing I would definitely probably do. Maybe. I don't know. Can you do a flip while playing shamisen? Absolutely. I'm not risking the shamisen for a flip. It would be cool. I'm not gonna lie, that would be really cool. Just the risk is just not The reward just does not balance out the risk in the least. Do you have any pets? I had fish until like a year ago when I moved, and my fish didn't take too well to the move, and it was a really heartbreaking thing, and just thinking about it's making me sad. So next topic. It's not that far from Toronto. What, did I miss something? Oh. Have you ever thought of visiting Maine? I've been to Maine. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it. What are your plans for today? Today is wrapping up editing and starting to shoot something that I hope to release this week. I'm really excited. This week is going to be a week of just videos, a lot of at-home videos. We're probably going to do something along the lines of maybe an office tour. There's like a slightly like funny topic I have in my head that I think would just be fun to do, and I think we're going to revisit that old series of tapes of my very first visit to Japan. So, have you visited England? Not yet. What country would you like to visit next? That's actually a really good question. I'd love to get back to Australia. I'd like to get out to Ireland and Scotland and all of that. Wonderful places. Again, they're at the parking garage is the word I'm looking for. Why can't I speak English today? Is Pimsleur Japanese good for a beginner? Yes, in every way. Yes. There's two things that I often recommend for Japanese. One of them is Pimsleur's, because it's kind of like a podcast. You can just kind of listen to it passively in the background. And the other one is a series called Let's Learn Japanese. You can find all the videos on YouTube. This series of like the first 30 videos, Yen and the Japanese people. It's about the cheesiest thing you'll ever find, but boy is it fun, and it works. What do you recommend for reaching out to connect as a freelancer when everything seems so shaky like it is now? I have emails ready for a handful of future opportunities, but it almost feels wrong. I said we're not going to cover too much of that topic, but I feel like that's a really good, because there are freelancers watching this. My approach on it is, don't reach out to start the business, reach out to build the relationship, reach out with honest transparency that you're aware of the current state of things and you think it's a good opportunity to connect with people rather than, do actual business, and that those relationships tend to, pay off better in the long run anyway. That would be the approach as a freelancer that I would take right now, is just reach out as a person and get to know them as a company. I recently ended up in contact with Aperture, who does lights and whatnot in the midst of all of this, and the entire goal was just to kind of connect as people and get to know each other, and it's been really nice. So, and we're back here. Do you ever go to Alaska? Oh, Akasaka. Why did I read that as Alaska? I used to live there, and I think it's a very nice, under the radar but fun place at night. Akasaka is actually kind of fun all the time. It's a nice area. It's not too far from here, actually. When are you going to do a video with Natsuki? Natsuki and I actually were talking about some shamisen stuff recently. I just got a random phone call one day. I was like, what is this phone call? And I answered the phone, and he's like, it's Natsuki. And I was like, all right, cool, what's up? And he wanted to ask me about some shamisen stuff. So, and Okinawa is one of the only places I haven't been to. Speaking of cherry blossom trees, there's one right over here. And not aperture. I wish it was Aperture Science. If they gave me a portal gun, I would be all over that. Aperture is like Aputure. They are a lighting company. They do most of the light domes and lights and whatnot that I use in my my office are from Aperture. So there we go. There's a really good scene right there. Do you think you'll ever do another Moment photo tour? I wanted to go to the one in April, but Yes, 100% yes. I will be doing more moment photo tours. We are setting one up right now for the fall for anybody who's interested. You literally just live with me for a week and we go and do crazy photography adventures all over Tokyo and everything like that. I think it's like shop moment travel or something like that. I don't know. It's really nice. I really, really enjoy this. Do you play games? The answer to that is in the podcast episode of the Tokyo Lens podcast that I released yesterday. So, do you like seasonal snacks? Sometimes, but not a ton. I have a love for consistency. So, okay, funny story. Let me put this down here. Let's see if we can. Okay. How's the lighting on? Is that okay? So, really, really funny story. I did a video in Osaka, and in the video in Osaka, I talked about the lack of product consistency in Japan. And I wasn't talking about like seasonal or like limited edition stuff. I was talking about genuine just products that don't even say limited edition, and poof, one day they're just gone, and how it's so heartbreaking. And apparently the world is very divided about this, and I got so many comments being like that was inappropriately negative, and no it wasn't. I'm allowed to have things I don't like, and having my favorite products disappear. Yes, the limited edition runs of stuff in Japan are wonderful. I love those. But when you've got this normal product that you love and it's just gone, I hate that. That is not and I am allowed to complain about that because food is something we all love. So there it is. Thank you. I'm glad. Do you like mochi? I really do like the mochi. Do you use the anamorphic lens from Moment? Yes, I do. I have it. And Not Scary Steve. I'm glad you listened to the podcast. All right. Do you miss your S15? I had an S14 and I miss it so much. I really do. I really miss it. And these crows are just out in full force this morning. It's like they're doing a crow stream. What is your favorite thing about Japan, or what is your favorite place in Japan? It's a tough question at nearly 7 a.m. Favorite place? I love Tokyo. I really do. There's also a spot called Kokura down in Kyushu, at the top of Kyushu. Google Kokura Castle, and you'll see this castle and shopping center beside it. It's beautiful. The juxtaposition between the super modern shopping center and all that is just wow. Oh, I see you released a new podcast episode 16 years ago. Yes, I did. Did you play Portal 2 levels people make? I like making my own levels in Portal 2. I love designing levels. It's such a time waster, but oh do I love it. Favorite area to roam in Tokyo? Asakusa, all the way. So those birds are excited. They got no chill. Zero chill with the birds in this park. So, all right, standing up, turning this around, doing a bit of walking. Hello, gimbal view. Is taiyaki too dry for you? Sometimes, yeah. The birds clearly are excited to see me. I was excited to see them too, but I can't hear myself think. And I've never actually uploaded my Portal maps. I should do that at some point. So, did you visit the Nintendo store? Not yet. Don't get pooped on. Wonderful. Climb the tower. How long time do you visit in Japan? Taku-san, I've lived in Japan. I've been, my first time here was, gimbal died. First time here was 15 years ago, so. Whew, there we are. Just spectacular. How often do you meet fans? It's really on a case-by-case basis. Upload it for us Patreon family? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll see if I can upload 1 or 2 maps and send you the link, so. And when are you headed to Ehime to do another video with Sherry? I don't know. I have no Ehime plans right now. I actually had like 2 road trips on the books that just kind of got pushed aside for now, so we'll see how all that plays out. All right. Well, guys, with no. Oh boy. There we go. The gimbal's just dead. It's been way too much weight for the gimbal. And the city is starting to wake up. The city itself is starting to come to life. So on that note, I think I'm going to. How do you know about the secret road trip with Mr. Abroad? That is not the right way. Yeah, the gimbal, she's just dead. I'm gonna pull the phone right out of the gimbal and just hold it like this for now. There we go. Whew. Refreshing to just have to hold a phone in your hand like a barbarian. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. I've got a bunch of stuff linked down in the description box. If you want more of these streams, if this stream wasn't enough for you, there's another one linked in the description box, as well as somewhere where I do streams several times a week. Thank you to Keech, just thank you to everybody. I was gonna like go through and be like, thank you to Nosh for coming in, thank you to Tim, thank you to Keech, thank you, but I realize I can't say all of your names. Flux, good to see you, man. That sunrise is absolutely beautiful. Type Beast, Craig, it's great to see everybody. Thank you guys just so much for being a part of this. Patreon crew, I will see you over on Instagram for a little bit of a morning walk in just a bit. Bob, thank you. And yeah, I hope that you guys have a great day. Let's take one last peek at the tower. There's a it's a parking garage under here. Parking garage. I will see you guys again real soon. Also, seriously, notifications on. This year is gonna be the year. You're gonna want those just notifications on YouTube and on the app. Make sure that it's on both. On the channel, like double notifications, and then notifications on. That's all I'm gonna say. I gotta keep saying this in case you didn't catch the last stream or the video before that, but trust me, just trust me. All right. In Chicago, yeah. That road trip with Chris already happened. That was like back in October.